I laugh at all of this because, listen, man, we're all human beings. None of us are ever going to do anything perfect. We're going to make mistakes. That's kind of what life is all about, and you can't do anything about that. We're going to try our best. And right now, I just feel like when we're in this world of a 24-hour news cycle, you've got to come up with material, and you're pressured by your producers and your editors and your program directors to come up with content. And because content gets old within hours, within 24 hours, you need more. I mean, look at Barry Jackson. I mean, they fired so many. Well, not fired. They have lost so many people at the Miami Herald, right? That man writes what, 5, 6 articles a day. I mean, he's a machine, and they don't have a lot of people left, but they have to still fill the space. And so you've got to come up with the content. And I just feel like this Watson thing has been content. There's been no substance behind it. Notice, I tweeted this out yesterday. Notice that everybody that's reported this has gotten burned badly. Everybody's looked like a fool on this. Nobody's ever been right. Not one time. Those are the facts. And now everybody's backtracking now after this whole story, which, I could tell. I told you all this is a bull crap story from the get-go. And I played the video for you yesterday. Then you got silly ass Drew Rosenhaus getting on Channel 7 going, oh yeah, no, I can see it happening in the next 2 weeks. And this is a guy with a law degree. I'm pretty sure he has a law degree. And yet he's spewing some irresponsible crap like you're going to get the Watson and he's going to solve all his legal issues in the next 2 weeks. And the other thing that the media comes up with, contingencies. What kind of contingencies are you actually going to do to trade for this guy? Well, if he goes to jail, we give you back Watson, you give us back Tua, and you give us back those picks. And but if he only gets probation, you got to give us one of those picks back. Yeah, right. The NFL is going to allow you to do something like that. I mean, it's just embarrassing, actually, because one of the things that we talked about here on the show over the last couple of days is that it didn't make any sense. None of it made sense. I mean, as slow as our court system is, do you think that he's going to resolve everything in 2 weeks? Now, let me add another caveat to all of this. Let's add COVID to the court systems. Let's add COVID to everything in life. Have you tried to buy a refrigerator? You go to this place and you order a refrigerator, and you say, okay, you think you're all right. Oh, I love this Amana, Whirlpool, whatever the hell. Okay, great, sir. All right. When would you like it delivered? I have an open date of December 15th or December 17th. And you're like looking at the guy going, what the F are you talking about, dude? It's August 31st. You mean I can't have it tomorrow? Oh, no, sir. We're backed up. Yeah, no, this is just a display model. We don't have any here. Have you tried that? Have you tried to order anything nowadays? Anything. There's such a backup on everything. Part of it is COVID, because every company's suffering sicknesses with COVID. Every company has employees out. People are closing their businesses earlier because they don't have enough employees. What do you think that does? There's a trickle-down effect to everything. So you expect our court system to have everything done in the next 2 weeks and the police to finish their investigation. Do you know how stupid that sounds? And that's why now you're hearing all these people backtrack like Darryl Green, baby. Well, no, there's no trade that's imminent right now. No shit. No shit, there isn't a trade. Of course there isn't a trade. There never was a trade. There never was an offer. But if you keep listening to Watson's agent, who's trying to keep the story and his client alive and fresh, or if you listen to Houston, who is desperate because they've got a player that's got serious problems and they've got to find a way to actually trade him. So they've got to keep him relevant. They've got to keep him in the story. They've got to, and the media is just, some of the media is just eating it up. And guess what, folks? Let's go full circle now. It's because they've got a 24-hour news cycle and they've got to come up with something. And I know Charles Robinson very well. Charles Robinson is an excellent reporter. Doesn't mean he's not doesn't mean he's perfect. Doesn't mean it. And I know he came out and said, well, it was kind of a one of those things that after checking who was out of the mix, well, it left Miami as the team that could possibly be the one. That's kind of the way he phrased it after. And then he followed up with, hey, look, my sourcing is this, and this. And he mentioned also the Dolphins. But I would say this to Charles Robinson. I would say this to Ian Rappaport, who I know very well, Schefter. You're not talking to Greer and you're not talking to Flo. I know that for a fact. And those guys aren't going to tell you anything. So where are you getting it from?